What you just heard was the opening track to Hoshimachi Suisei's second studio album, Spectre.
灼熱にて純情 Wii Wii U.
Yeah, that. Hooked yet? What's that? No? Well, allow me to convince you why Hoshimachi Suisei is the greatest Vtuber musical artist to grace this earth. Here we go. Now I get it. VTubers aren't for everyone. I can totally understand why most people wouldn't be into the very wide variety of music that comes from this niche. However, there are a few exceptions to this, with Suisei, in my belief, being the main one. There are a few reasons for this, being consistency with style and sheer output. Let's compare. Here we have my beloved Oshi Hoshimati. Don't get me wrong, these songs are amazing and I really enjoy listening to them. However, in terms of widespread appeal, I wouldn't really say there's enough to warrant an audience beyond us VTuber degens. Now, let's compare that to Suisei. 2 studio albums that have peaked within the top 10 of the Japan Billboard Top 100, a nice backlog of singles, as well as appearing on The First Take, twice, and having a couple of her own solo concerts. And on top of this, her music is genuinely really good. So that's enough nonsensical rambling from a deranged sleep-deprived teenager. Let's move on to the things I can actually talk about. The music. On September 29th, 2021, Suisei released her first studio album, Still Still Stella, featuring the singles Comet, Blue Rose, I think. Tenkyu Suisei wa Yoru o Mataide. Excuse me for my horrific pronunciation. Next Color Planet, Ghost, and technically Stella Stella if you count The First Take. Not only are these singles incredible, but they also work pretty well together as an album, which is, the point. The album as a whole could be lumped in as J-rock, but each song has its own writing style, sound, and overall feeling, without deviating too much and making it just sound like a compilation or a playlist. Throughout, it continues a steady theme of space and the stars sticking to her overall brand, with Suisei translating to Comet. From the funkier and almost anime opening-esque Starry Jet, a personal favorite, to the more EDM-inspired and melodic sounds of Stella Stella. The songwriting is incredible, but on top of this, one of these is completely self-penned. Ghost, playing in the background now, drawing emotions from a place of negativity, making this a far cry from the rest of the album, which still feels very idol-like, with her being an idol and all. It all makes for a really fun and enjoyable listen, and again, it feels like it also has a space outside of the VTuber sphere. It's an amazing album, so how can it get better than this? Well, in my unwanted opinion, it does. On January 23rd, Suisei released her second studio album, Spectre. Debuting at number 4 on the Japanese Billboard Hot 100 albums, it is arguably her most successful work, and my personal favorite lineup of songs. It features the singles Hyakunetsu ni te Junjo, Hososhitsu, and
Soare.
Oh my god, I am so sorry.
And continuous lapse in my judgment.
Back in 2022, before the singles had been released, I got my first taste of this album from the track Template. J-rock infused quasi-metal song full of halftime breakdowns, an absolutely ripping guitar tone, and as per usual, Suisei's genuinely incredible vocals. This was the first time I properly sat down and listened to her music. I fell down the Vtuber hole sometime after Myth debuted in late 2020, but never really reached into the JP branch. The JP branch is a treasure trove of all sorts of music, and Template happened to be my first taste. Now flash forward to January 2023, and the album has been released. Not only does it have the song that first introduced me to Suisei, but it also has an amazing selection of ear candy. From the piano and slap-bass infused 7 Days, the more electronic and intricate Newton. Much like Still Stella, it still has the same stylistic range without feeling too different, but unlike Still Stella, it is much more detached from the squeaky clean idol J-rock of her first album. So why is this? Well, sort of breaking the Vtuber mold a bit, one of the most notable collaborators / songwriters on this album is Ayase of YOASOBI. Yes, that YOASOBI. The song they wrote together is the flagship track Michizure, and I'll just let it speak for itself. It brings that YOASOBI feel without crowding or overwhelming Suisei's vocals, making for what is probably one of the most substantial and important collaborations in Vtuber music history. Now before we finish, let's quickly talk about The First Take. The First Take is a pretty large Japanese YouTube channel featuring live performances and recordings of various popular Japanese songs. I like to compare this to the NPR Tiny Desk concert, but it's a tiny bit different. Now, if you know them, you've probably seen performances from acts like YOASOBI and Avril Lavigne, what? And now I'll comment Hoshimachi Suisei, twice, making her the first VTuber on the channel, which is an achievement in itself. But there's also the performances themselves, and I mean, just listen. Now, if you are somehow by some miracle not convinced yet, first of all, just listen to the albums. You never know, there might be at least one song you like. But I don't want to listen to a song in a different language. One? What? Two? I don't really know what to say. Just give it a shot, and if not, that's your loss. And three? Right, surely now you're convinced. Not only is she a really entertaining streamer and VTuber, but she has shown us time and time again that she is also a very capable recording artist. And it is amazing that as a VTuber she's getting recognized more and more as a singer and not just a hololive talent. From her humble beginnings as an indie VTuber trying to get her voice out there, to her rocky start at cover, to a massive explosion in popularity and current day success as the greatest V-singer of all time. Yeah, you could say Suisei is one super idol.